Hi friends, today I have with me my friend Martha Witte, and if you've ever been to a First Wednesday service and dropped off your kids, you may have seen her because she serves in childcare there. I'm so glad that you're here today.
Thank you.
Would you just share just a little bit with us about you and your family?
Okay. So I've been married to Clay for almost 42 years. We have 4 children and 4 in-law children, and then we have 7 grandchildren, and 2 of our daughters and their families come to Substance, and you probably know them.
Oh,
And so we love it.
Yeah.
Love coming here.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
You've been serving in substance childcare for a while. Tell us why you serve.
Yeah.
Why do you do it?
So I do love kids, and I did daycare in my home for almost 30 years. And I came from a large family. Right now we're about 103 with 2 more nieces pregnant and babies coming any day.
That's a lot of
So
people.
I'm really used to
Wow.
being around kids, and I do love it. So I started serving in children's ministry when we started coming to Substance around 2013. And in 2016, I was asked by a staff member that found out we were going on a mission trip to the Ukraine to raise money if I wanted to join serving on children's ministry on Wednesday nights, first Wednesdays. And so that's when I started, was 2016. And it's hard to stop. I love coming to just encourage the kids, the workers. I love the staff, just the whole night. I usually end up leaving tired but blessed. When I get in my car, I'm praising the Lord just for just what happened. I really like to reflect and say, did I touch one life? Did I make a difference in one adult's or child's life? And that I feel like God has used me how I would like to be used.
Well, I just have to say that God has used you for one life, and one of those lives has been my daughter. For those of you who don't know, I have an almost 10-year-old daughter, and she is very reserved. She's pretty, she'll have fun and stuff, but she doesn't often share her feelings. We're working on that. We're working on the feelings wheel. But I had asked her, because we were doing this little interview, I had said, Ellie, why don't you tell me, what do you think about Miss Martha? This is what she said. I have to share this with you guys. She says, Miss Martha is joyful, loving, generous, kind, caring, and a good friend. And then she said that she felt like she could talk to you about anything.
So special.
I'm even trying to get my daughter to talk to me about anything. So that, I'm already like, let's set you up for a mentoring appointment. But what I've noticed, every time I see you with children, you see them, you notice them, you talk to them like they're adults.
Yeah.
There is something special in the way that you interact with children that makes them feel valued and like they matter. And so I just love you to kind of unpack a little bit about your thought process
Okay.
as you interact with kids.
Yeah. Well, I do love to let kids know their value, their worth, that they do matter, and I do see them. And that's really, I do pray for that God will help me to see them and help me to encourage them and help me to draw out whatever it is. Maybe there's something they've been going through that day that they really need to just share. And I love that. And if I can just bring the joy of the Lord to one kid, it just makes a difference. So yeah, I do see them. I think that in this world that it's kids are told to just, you're just a kid. But you know what? They're God's children, that we should see them through His eyes, right? And so that's what I try to do. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you do it really well, because even in coming today, I just have to share this. We're walking in the door today together, and we see a family, and I say hi to the mom, and you say hi to the kids, and you're like,
do.
oh, how are you? And I'm
do.
like, yep, this is why I'm interviewing you.
Sometimes I think something's wrong with me, though, because I do. I ultimately, in a group setting, I will be with the kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I love it. I just love it, and I want them to feel loved, and I want them to feel valued and cared for, and find contentment. Really, Yeah.
Well, you've encouraged me, even just as a mom, as a friend of other moms, to be intentional to see their kids too.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, I remember going over to these these neighbors' houses, and they would always talk to me like I was an adult. And I remember leaving and telling my mom, I love them. Like they talk to me like I'm like them.
Yeah.
And it like made a difference. And
Yeah.
so I see that in you too. And I'm so grateful that you bring that to our community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that it takes time for some kids, like Ellie, that, at first she just, who knows what she thought, but I just kept, pursuing her, I'll say. So, and it's being purposeful, I think, purposeful to pursue. And you can usually see the kids who need a little bit more encouragement. And now, like when I see Ellie, she gives me her hug, and then she's gone. She's warmed up to First Wednesday. She feels safe. She feels comfortable. She's got her friends. And that's really what I want all the kids to have on First Wednesday. So, as parents, as moms, you're in your home. You have the neighbor kids over. You don't know what difference you're making, and seeing them, and saying you don't know what their home life's like. You don't know what school was like. Even homeschool that they get. And we want to encourage them. And maybe you're the person they're going to open up with. Maybe you're the person they're going to share their deepest problems, or they're going to share something they're really excited about. And that makes all of us feel good, right? When we have somebody, we get to share our good things and our bad things, right?
Yeah.
So.
I think it's really important as moms that we realize that we're showing up for each other as moms, but we're also showing up for each other's kids.
Yeah.
Like, we are a community of families.
Yeah.
We have our moms groups, but like when our kids, when we're around each other's kids, it's important that we value one another too.
Right.
So it's
and
really
who do you want to mentor your kids?
Yes.
Another believer that you can trust.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Well, we've been talking a lot about contentment, and we've been talking a lot about it with us as moms. But I think it's really important that we understand how to help our kids find contentment. Do you have any thoughts in regard to that?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to say it's harder for you moms than it was for me, because I didn't have all the social media and electronics. So I think for you parents, you moms, that you need to really, set down your stuff and see them for who they are. Take, some days it could just be a minute. Say, hey, how was your day? Some days they're going to share, some days they're not. But at least they know Mom cared about me that day, just that short time. And then I think we need to be really purposeful in what we do, in our words, in our actions. We need to make sure that they feel important every time they're there, that their feelings matter, that they are heard. But I do think that kids are searching for boundaries. I think they want to know that they do have boundaries. They don't say they do. They don't probably feel it. But to know that they have boundaries is really important. That's not a behavior we do in this house. And a lot of times you can use it because they're going to say, but my friends. No, but that's what we do here, because we love the Lord. We love Jesus. We want to honor him through whatever we're doing. So I do try to do that too. And then also I am a fan of rewards. So, and the reward might be a date with Mom. It might be, we have to do this first. My kids always had chores. Anyone that came and lived with us had chores. And we worked hard, we played hard. One of my favorite verses is John 10:10. This thief comes to kill, steal, and destroy, but I have come to give you life and give it abundantly. And my dad taught me that we work hard together, we play hard together. And I think kids, when they feel part of the family, when they feel part of the, whatever you want to call your household unit, there's contentment in that, and saying we did this together, and then we went, make it fun, make it adventurous, make it, set time. Okay, you guys, half an hour, can we get this done? And then we're going to go do this. And it might be a walk to the park. I'm not saying to spend money. We didn't have a lot of money growing up, and so we had to find things to do that were free. But kids just know, we as a family, we work hard, we play hard, and we I do believe that they find joy, they find responsibility, and thus finding contentment.
Yeah, I agree. It's even building up their self-worth worth, like I am responsible, I can do this. I
Yeah.
know that sometimes kids don't want to do chores, or they don't want to, they seem like they push back for the boundaries, but really like it's building that strength of like who they are, and when they have a safe home environment to be able to just ground themselves in and know that, like kind of like what you were saying before, when they know you're safe and they know that you're not going to flip out when they tell you that they did whatever, that can strengthen them, I feel like.
And that's the thing, is it's okay to say sorry. It's okay to ask for forgiveness. Okay, because I'm far from perfect. And the Bible says it all the time, right? That it's okay to ask for forgiveness. It's okay to mess up. It's okay to overreact sometimes. But for me, it's like I've learned over the years, doing daycare for 30 years almost, is step back, take a deep breath. Sometimes, we tell kids to count. We need to count. We need to say, Lord, calm me, help me to come back into the situation and say, okay, what's going on here? Some kids do need that extra time. I used to go and right away wanted to take care of it right away, make everybody happy. Well, that's not realistic, right? Sometimes we need to give them that time. They need to go. They need to think about what just happened. And then we always want to go to them and say, you know what, I love you no matter what. And we're a family. We stick together.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
I was chatting with a friend of mine the other day because I had a situation where there was just a lot of arguing with me and one of my children, and I was holding it together for a long time, and I kept trying to get space, but they kept coming with me, and I lost it, and I yelled. I said some things that I wouldn't advise anyone to say. And I was lamenting over this, and I was crying, and I was talking with my friend, and she said, who told you you can't be passionate for your kids?
Right.
She said, yes, you could have said that a little differently, but you are passionate because you love your child so much. And when you go back and you repair, like as we continue talking about this contentment for our children, like then it's like, oh, the repair is there. Mom is safe. Mom loves me. I can be content. Oh, mom showed her feelings. I can show my feelings. So, it can be complicated.
Still love each other. And we still love each other.
Right.
And we don't run. We come back and we deal with it. You know how much you're teaching your child that? It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you for being willing to just share your heart with us. Thank you for what you do with all of our children, especially on First Wednesday nights. We are grateful, and I just pray that God will duplicate all of what He's done in and through you, in and through all of us. So we really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for letting me come. And I just want to say one more thing to moms is that you're doing a great job. It's tough out there. And if you ever need a hug, I love to give hugs.
Amen.
And encourage you. So thank you.
Thanks.
Bless you.
Take care, everybody.